Hi, everyone. It's Dr. T here, and I wanted to check in with you again and send some emotional support and strategies in order to strengthen everybody for the time that we're all going through and for creating the future that you want. So, the number one key to your success is often it's something different than what people often think. And that number one key to your success is your emotional strength, right? So it's not all of these other things that you might think. It's all about your capacity to harness your emotions into the outcomes that you want. So no matter what the subject matter is, whatever's going on, all the information that you're getting, all of the concerns that you might be having, all of the questions, and all of the way in which we're in these unprecedented times and we're here all together trying to think through what our strategies are for the future and how do we do what we need to do now in order to create the future that we want. Well, with all of the reactivity that goes on, all of the ways in which we're receiving information and everyone's mind is going in a million different directions. What about this and what about that? And, thinking through all of the worst and the potential catastrophes and all of this stuff about being behind and what's not working. Well, interestingly enough, the most important thing for a person to do is figure out what they are going to do, where they are going to put their focus, and how they are going to creatively solve problems and create the outcomes that they want. Right? So, whatever info anybody needs to get to say, okay, this is the answer to this question, that's the answer to this question, that's the only amount of time that you want to spend on something like that. More so, when you have the data that you need in order to create the outcomes that you want, then I just want to encourage everybody to harness all of their emotions, their attention, and their focus onto the ways that they are going to solve issues, create outcomes, and live in their purpose, right? That purpose can include hundreds of different things, but the idea, the way through this, and the way to be just incredibly successful and elevate yourself out of the trenches, emotional or otherwise, is always, always, always on what it is that we are going to do. What outcome are we going to have? What is the vision that we have, and to put our attention there? So, having been an emotional scientist for years and years and years of my life, and somebody that has been an emotionally sensitive person that has, for years and years, trained myself on how to keep my attention on everything going forward in the future that I want to make happen, I can be in the midst of any kind of experience, pandemic, it could be anything. It really, and I don't want to invite anything else in, but it could be anything. And I'm trained, like my team and all of our amazing clients, that our first thought, automated thought, our now programmed response to everything is, what's my outcome? Right? So somebody could say the sky is falling, and myself, my team, my clients, they all say, what's my outcome? They don't even have to think about it because they've spent so much time as clients in our emotional strength training programs that that's where they've programmed themselves to go to, right? That's a very important aspect of emotional strength and emotional fitness, is that when you harness your emotions in the direction to solve your issues and create outcomes, and you do that over and over and over again, then you get this level of emotional strength and emotional fitness that allows you just to create all the things that you want to. So I just want to invite everybody to know that in all of the things that you're trying to do to support yourself, the number one key to your success is to recognize when you're in reactivity and to shift into your outcomes and put your attention there. So it's either going to go like this, right? Your entire experience is going to go through all of these cycles, like this question, concern, terrible future, catastrophic future, horrible. This might happen, that might happen, all these terrible things might happen. And if you just notice that whether it's the viral outbreak or whether it's just how people are all the time, this is the thing that causes human suffering and gets in the way of people just, instead of being distracted, just all of this stuff that happens, that gets in the way of them just creating outcomes. And the number one key to your success is to have the emotional strength to go from an intention to an outcome. Like, this is what's happening, and then act on it. Now, the other piece of that chain is to go like this. You have a negative reaction, you shift to an intention. So negative reaction, shift to an intention, and shift to the outcome, right? So if somebody says to me, the sky is falling, the sky is going to be falling, for the next year, my instant reaction is, what's my outcome? What am I going to be doing? And instead of having my body go through an entire range of things that is unpleasant and will just cause a whole nother series of reactions, I shift to an intention, and then I have a whole series with what I call a chain of intentions that carries me forward to the fabulous future that I'm creating. And there is no other option that I'm entertaining. Right? So I'm going to invite all of you to start to think that way, because it doesn't mean that I don't understand parameters that I'll be working with, but my intention is to create the exact future that I want and to help as many people do that as possible. And the way we create things is to put our focus on that. And the way we struggle and suffer is to put our focus on things that we're afraid of. And all of that energy just swirls and creates reactivity, and it does not produce anything other than the need to self-medicate, and other than depression, anxiety, the need to self-medicate, physical health issues, and everything that we don't want. And this is why when people work with us to shift their reactions and to change their emotional strength so they can be a non-reactive, elevated person, all of their issues resolve themselves. All of their physical issues, their emotional issues, their relational issues, their professional issues, because everything that we do is built on our emotional foundation, and it's built on our emotional focus. All right, so this is why years ago I created the world's first emotional strength training center for people who are emotionally sensitive and reactive. However, at this time that is so unprecedented, this is really something that I know everyone can benefit from. So if you'd like more emotional strength, we have a range of programs to help people. We help people with the most significant issues, like serious depression, anxiety, and addiction that feel deeply in crisis. And we work at that level with them, and we develop programs for them that we are currently doing more virtually now. We've always done both virtual and in person, but we are complete virtual emotional and addiction recovery center. And we've got programs at every level for people at different budgets and for people who need very significant emotional and recovery support. This is a time of great grief and trauma for a lot of people and emotional overwhelm. So we've got the highest level services. We've got several points of mid-level service for people to make sure that everybody can get the outcomes they need at the budget that they've got going on. And then we've got programs that really are set up so that people with emotional and addictive issues can recover as long as they're totally committed to following the program. All right. So I don't need anybody struggling, suffering, and lacking emotional strength when we can teach you how to do that, and we can help you stop reacting and elevate your life right now. All right, everyone. So if you want to take our assessment that can tell you about where you are with your emotions and your issues, you can go to drtracyinc.com and take that assessment that's available. Or you can go right to the book a call button, get on our schedule, and we'll do an assessment and figure out what it is that we need to do to help you feel your absolute and most emotionally strongest self, so that you can have all of your energy going to creating the outcomes and the future that you want. All right, everyone, I'll be thinking about you, sending you my support, and I'll be building my emotional strength to be available to serve you even better. All right, take care, and I'll see you soon.